Hello everyone, my name is Roya, and today I am finally reviewing Only This Beautiful Moment by Abdi Nazemian. So this is a book that I wanted to film a review of when it came out, but here's the funny part. So basically I love Abdi's books, all of them. They are all genius and amazing, and I always buy them. So when I got to review this one early, I thought, well, maybe I can post my review on release day. But since I was getting a copy anyway, like I had already pre-ordered it, I thought, well, maybe I'll wait until I have my copy to hold up. And then I ended up lending it to my sibling, and then I wound up just not really filming the review and not really knowing when to film the review because obviously the book was already out. And then I thought, like, well, I've literally filmed a review for almost all of his books. I should really film a review of this one still. It doesn't really matter that the book was already out. And so I thought, well, you know what? This was #1 on my best books of the year list, so I'm going to be reviewing my best book of 2023. It is about three main characters in three different time periods. We have Mood, who is an Iranian-American teenager. He has come out as gay, and his dad, who is a single father, just doesn't seem to want to talk to him like at all because he's afraid to even address the fact that he's gay. So every time he says anything about like his boyfriend, his dad is like, okay, nice weather we're having, see you later. Like he like really tries to avoid the subject completely. So then we follow him and his dad as they travel to Iran to visit his grandfather. So then every second chapter follows his dad, Saeed, as a young man in Iran getting in trouble during the revolution and having to go to the US and attend school there and live with his grandmother, who is American, who he had never met. And then every third chapter we follow his Mood's grandfather, Bobby, as a young man in the US who doesn't know he's Iranian, basically, and he is gay and in love with his best friend. The things I loved about this book the most were, of course, the writing and the storytelling that seems to be par for the course of all of Abdi's books. They do all have really good writing and storytelling and characterization the whole way through. And then, of course, being that this follows gay Iranians, that makes me really happy because I am both Iranian and queer, so I really appreciate books about Iranians and queer people and queer Iranians especially. And then also what I really like about a lot of his books, that a lot of his books have, is that they have really great, relationship subplots where the relationship ends. And that's like the main relationship we follow through that story arc, and it still ends. Majority of his books, the main relationship we follow is really great and still ends. And it's a good message to show that, that's okay. It's okay if relationships end. And I really like seeing that because I know, I feel like, especially in a book aimed at teenagers, I certainly did not see enough of that as a teenager at all. And so I really appreciate that. I really like books that show, the relationship ending, all of that. And here we actually get 3 relationships ending that are great relationships, and still they feel the need to come to an end, and that it's really okay. Mood's dad, Saeed, when he is young and in going to the US and all of that, he finds out that in a really creepy, weird, unexpected way, from someone who means him harm and everything, that his parents are gay, and that ends up being really hard for him to deal with because it's so, the person telling him this is not someone good. So, and then the fact that, he never knew that, and only earlier in his chapters he even meets a girl and asks his dad, how did you know you loved mom? And his dad says, that's a story for another time. And then they wind up having to send him to the US right after. So it's almost tragic that they didn't get to tell him that any of their story beforehand. And it's oh man, that's insane. That could have changed his entire outlook on it. Also, during Saeed's chapters we do get this really great reference to one of my favorite Gugush songs, which is really fun as well. And it is also interesting because he does meet the girl who does become Mood's mother, and she is actually a very queer affirming person. Like, she has several gay friends and everything who she introduces him to when he tells her that he found out his parents are gay and all of that. And it's almost sad. Like, you kind of go, oh, it's too bad that she's passed away before her son came out, because she would have been really supportive, and that would have made his dad supportive too. And so, like, there's all this stuff where in this book where you think, like, that's so tragic that, like, these people could have, like, they so easily just missed being able to live their truth so much more easily and to figure out, like, what was, you know, what was going on so in so much more of just a better way and everything. And then what I really liked about Bobby's chapters, Mood's grandfather, when he's young during his chapters, is that his mother, who is American and didn't tell him who his dad was or anything, so he doesn't know he's Iranian even, like, she is the weirdest character. Like, she is so unlikable, but she's such a well-written, just kooky, weird character that you almost can't help but like her, like, as a character. It's so weird. Like, she's basically making him get an acting contract because she thinks that that will get her cast in something. This whole book is so good and so well-rounded. I can't even say enough about it. That is, like, it's really incredible. It really shows, like, it's so interesting how there are 3 different time periods in this, and we still get, like, queer characters in all 3, and how the time changes, kind of like what is different, and it just really captures all 3 time periods so well, and what everything is like, what the acting studio is like, and this was just such a well-written book, and it was just so good, and I could not put it down, and I almost wanted it to be longer too. I wanted it to keep going. I wanted it to go into, like, Bobby finally going to Iran once he finds out, because, like, the last thing that happens to him in his chapters is that he finds out he's Iranian, but we don't get to see him, like, go to Iran. So overall, just such good characters, such a good story, and I enjoyed reading this so much. So if you've read this and have any thoughts on it, please let me know in the comments, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!